Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
To you at 11 to 8. Time to catch up with the Mayor of Dubbo Regional Council, Matthew Dickerson. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Iain. Great to be chatting to you again.
Absolutely, yes. It's off to a chilly start here in Dubbo today, so let's warm things up with some council news, won't we? The Wheelers Lane upgrade, that starts on Monday. What's happening there?
Well, that's been something that we have been talking about for some time. There was a fair bit of damage done to that road during all the wet weather we had last year, so we have discussed that as one of our priority roads to get fixed, and it does start on Monday. So the good news is we'll fix it. Of course, the bad news is that there'll be some interruptions to traffic while it's being fixed, and it's the continual problem we have, Iain, that everyone would love the roads fixed, but people don't want interruptions to their lives. Unfortunately, there will be some interruptions there, but we'll minimise that as much as possible. More importantly, repair that road surface back to what it should be.
Yeah, that's affecting, I believe, southbound road users between the railway line and Birch Avenue there as part of this first stage of the works.
Yeah, that's right. And there are various roads in our LGA. We talk about it a lot, and that there's lots of damage that's been done. We've got 2,875 kilometres of roadworks, or road, sorry. We'd love to do work on all of that, but unfortunately at this stage, we can only do what we can do. But in our budget, which is very important for people to have their say on the budget for next year, we've allocated approximately $35 million for our road network over the next financial year. But go on to Your Say. If you go and Google Your Say and Dubbo, you'll find a site there to look at all the various aspects of the budget, and really important for people to have their say about that budget.
When are these works projected to be complete?
That's a very good question. I don't have that information in front of me. You might have the media release there that tells you the projected completion date, but off the top of my head, I know they're starting on Monday, but I don't actually have the completion date. Sorry, Iain.
Well, I'm cheating. I'll say it's September, subject to weather.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the information you've got there in front of you. Good work.
You better break through the glass ceiling if I do that. But anyway, the Regional Australia Bank Dubbo Show, huge event for the Dubbo region, and celebrating 150 years. That's kicked off today, and it brings so many people to our area, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. The show is always a fantastic thing to go along and attend. 150th show, that just seems incredible, doesn't it? And there's no doubt the show committee does a fantastic job there. Those volunteers, the show committee, they've been volunteering for 150 years. Well, actually not the individuals, but the show committee has been there with volunteers for 150 years producing that Dubbo show, and well done to those people involved. There'll be a launch of a book tonight about the 150th show. Tomorrow we've got the Governor of New South Wales, Margaret Beasley, coming along. She's going to officially open the show, and apart from the fact that it's the 150th show, it'll still be a show with all the great exhibits, all the great rides, all the things that are in the pavilion. All those things are still happening as per normal, but just the significance of that show, how much it's changed over the years, but still a real central meeting point for so many people from around the region.
Have you got a favourite thing, like we all have something involved with our hobbies or something? Is there something you always look at the show, or do you really enjoy the whole thing?
Well, it's probably not so much now, but I used to have, when I take the kids along, the Dodgem cars. I'd love the idea of just being able to run into people without having any consequences in the Dodgem cars. So especially when you'd have a few of the kids in the various cars, there'd be a bit of competition amongst the kids and myself to see who can run into each other and spin someone around. So the Dodgem cars, absolutely love. But I do love going through the pavilion and seeing the creativity of people in our region, just looking at all the different things they've made, whether it be something as simple as baking a cake. But having said that, I can't bake a cake, so well done to the people who can bake a cake. But all that creativity in there is absolutely fantastic.
I can see why you like the Dodgem cars, because they're electric. I'm glad to see you don't treat your Tesla like one of those on the street.
Well, I hadn't thought about the fact they're electric, but you have hit the nail on the head. So maybe that's why I've been attracted to them for a long time.
They've been around for decades before the Tesla came along, haven't they?
They have indeed. So you've got a good point there.
They've got that big rubber bump skirt on them there, sort of thing. Maybe we need that. Some drivers need that out in the real world, don't they?
Well, my kids used to say that when we drive around, we bump into each other, and you get out at the end, they say, why don't all cars have those big bumpers? That sounds like it'd be much safer on the roads. But of course, you're only doing 5 kilometres an hour on the Dodgem cars. You're a bit faster out on the roads.
Now, you've got your monthly council meeting coming up next week, is that correct?
Next Thursday night, the fourth Thursday of each month, is the monthly council meeting. As we call it, technically it's called the ordinary council meeting, but of course I always say there's nothing ordinary about a council meeting. This is where decisions are made. So have a look at that. The business papers come out for that on Monday, but I really do like it when people either come along to the gallery and watch the meeting or tune in online. I imagine that people sit there with their popcorn and their soft drink and sit back and watch the meeting. It's actually I love the idea of the raw democracy. We have a topic that comes up for debate. There's discussion about that. Various councillors put their views forward. There's good, open, honest, fair debate. And then at the end of all, it's really simple democracy. All those in favour, put your hand up. Against, put your hand up. And the decision is made. So I do like that. And it's a good chance for the public to see various topics that are being discussed, but also for the public just to hear from different councillors about why they might be voting a certain way, in particular with those various items that come up to council.
They get to see the mechanics of the council, and of course too, you're still inviting people to have their say as far as the budget and operational plan goes.
That's through until the 29th of May, Monday the 29th of May. That's when submissions will close, and that is for the budget for next financial year. And then obviously we consider that information, and then final decision will be made on the budget at the council meeting in June. So about another month away before those final decisions are made, but we get a chance to look through all those submissions and see what people have got to say in terms of the budget, make some changes if possible to the budget, and then that final decision will be made at that June council meeting.
Matthew Dickinson, Mayor of Dubbo Regional Council, thanks for your time this morning. We look forward to catching up with you at the Dubbo show.
Fantastic, sounds good, and I'll see you there on the Dodgem cars, Iain.
Well, let's get on there and have a bit of a derby of you and I, okay?
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.